Go ahead. Let's start.
You're ready.
Yeah, I started this. Yeah, I started it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's start the show. Let's get the show started.
Jesus God. Get some water in this bitch.
Huh? Oh, wait a minute.
Get some water.
My water. Oh, shit. All right. I'm ready now. Yeah, I'm ready now. Let's get it going. All right, here I go. Yeah. Peace to people coming in over here on my George Making 2 channel because they suspended my street media TV channel. But I want to get off into this pearly things situation. I got my brother Richie on here, because he's from London, and he has a lot of insight as to what's going on over there. Insight as to what's going on over there. Amongst those coons, as you can see, the thumbnail that we had up there, the coons of hazard, with Mr. Fantastic and what the hell is his name? Obsidian. The situation with Mr. Fantastic and Obsidian. I've been going from different panels, and I've been talking to people, and I've been telling everybody, listen, the pro-black community is vindicated in this, but I'm gonna get at the pro-black community today too. There's gonna be I'm gonna get at different groups on different levels. We've been talking about the Manosphere. We've been calling them out. We've been calling the Manosphere out for their behavior and for the bull and for the all the bull crap that they do. What's going on, Riz? Hold on for a second.
Big up, Riz.
Yeah, why am I joining in? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we've been calling the Manosphere out for all the stuff that they do. We know that they're anti-black. They've been anti-black. We know that they're anti-black women. They're anti-black community. They are pro-white everything. If based off of the Black Manosphere's rhetoric, one would have to ask them the question that they think the white man forced slavery. If you listen to them, if you listen to Obsidian talk, you listen to Mr. Fantastic, and when I play these timestamps today, y'all gonna understand where I'm going. These people, and correct me if I'm wrong, Richie, based off of your experiences with these guys, they actually thank the white man for slavery, because if it wasn't for slavery, they wouldn't be here in America under the system. Based off, they don't have to say it with their words. Listen to what they say when they talk. They quote Time and Soul. I watched these guys obliterate black women. I mean, totally obliterate black women. When white women in this country have a history, hundreds of year history of accusing, still today, of accusing black men of crimes that they haven't done. And these same Rudy Poop Negroes, tiptoeing through the tulip Negroes, will come online before the world and still defend this white woman to no end, to the point where they're willing to break up the Manosphere to defend this white woman. There's a split in the Manosphere, and the Manosphere is going after each other now over this white woman. I told y'all for years that when white people come around, black people start tucking in their shirts, sitting up in their seats, acting right. This woman is on there talking about black folks don't deserve reparations. She's on there saying slavery, talking about slavery. She saw a low-hanging fruit amongst black folks, peeped the weakness in the game, and now she's exploiting it. Because in her community, Skinny, in her community, she's a failure. She comes from money, but she's a failure. She's not good looking. And in her community, she's overlooked. She's nobody. But because she's a white woman, she can come into the black sector and you homogenize, tiptoe through the tulips, no testicle having ass Negroes will accept this woman, put her on a pedestal above your own women and even your brother. She saw how we argue amongst each other. She saw how we argue amongst each other and saw that that was lucrative. So show me, I challenge anybody that disagree with me to show me where white people, where Beelzebubians and jackals will ever let you come on their panels and moderate their dysfunction. Show it to me. Show me the place where they will allow a black woman to blow up and grow amongst a white audience, or a black man to referee white dysfunction, because white people have dysfunction too. They fight wars and kill each other. They have dysfunction all in Europe. If I'm wrong, I got my brother Richie here. Richie, you live on a continent that's predominantly white, where the population of black folks is 3%. How ratchet are whites over there, Richie?
Come on. All day long they're going on with shit. Yeah. All day long. The same problems, the same dramas, the same back and forth. They could easily have panels full of their own, but they choose to enjoy our dysfunction. This is the problem.
So it would be safe to say that whites over there sell drugs, they beat their wives, they
all
have
that good stuff,
unwed babies, all that stuff goes on in London. It was safe to say, right?
All that.
but the low-hanging fruit is black dysfunction, and it's profitable. So these same, remember, the Manosphere was supposed to be something set up for men, not women, right? Women begin to take the talking points, show a little titty, show a little leg, put some makeup on, and all these sex-starved, educated lames lost their mind and went crazy, right? But then they turned around and had a nerve to diss the black women that's placating to their talking points. But when this white woman came on the scene, man, you wait till I play these, wait till I share my screen and I play this stuff, man, y'all gonna be like, oh, it's unbelievable. The way, matter of fact, yeah, let me pull my book up. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable the way that these people are defending this woman. Now she had a white supremacist, Nick Fuentes, on her show, right? And he's a well-known white supremacist. But Richie, my thing was, because most of her money and her audience is based off the black argument, she didn't bring like a Jamaican brother or African brother from the Caribbean over there to combat what he would say. Somebody that would sit on his couch with her.
No, she made Pacific moves. And again, all of this is going to come to light to not have any of those same black males that you see around her on the show on that day. She didn't tell no one. She didn't want anyone refuting the points or coming with any other aspects. That was a planned move, because you see her have all these idiots around her when she's chatting this other whack shit. But on that subject, man, she knew exactly what was going on and what she was about to do. So she made sure there was a lack of any of the coons. The coons couldn't even be around. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, this guy was talking about by 2050, most of Europe is going to be brown because of all the mixing. Then he went on to say about the intelligence level, or things would change there. She was just sitting there, like, not one time did she separate herself from the conversation. Not one time did she separate herself from that and take the ladder and say, you know what, hey, let's just say I'm interviewing you, Richie, and you come on and say some coon shit, right? But I'm interviewing. I'll let you have it, but I might say, well, I don't know about that, my brother Richie, but this is your interview. State your, how you feel. I would never double down and then go and say, well, when we start talking about stuff being exaggerated, I bring up slavery. You didn't bring up slavery. I bring up slavery. To quote Alex Haley, the quote of Alex Haley, where we know in the Alex Haley situation, we know Alex Haley was a story that was being told that he was actually sued for, right? But for her to speak on, at 26 years old, to speak on slavery, where, let's keep it a buck, right? We here in America, right? She's over there in London. And 90% of her guests is black folks that's from London, right? That are of Caribbean descent. So if they're of Caribbean descent, that means that they're descendants of slaves as well. So for her to go on there and make that statement just shows you the lack of respect that she actually has for the people that's working for her. Then she said, "My Africans," when she was talking.
Remember, she's got a couple Americans signed up to her, to her channel, that come on regularly. I can't remember what their names are, Auntie Sutton and King Sutton. And then you got Sarah Garvey, who's appeared on her channel. He's not part of her signed team, but he's been freelancing and doing shows with her. And then you've got all the rest of the coon ship that come on to chat their whack. You understand? But she's got a hard, fast plantation building in the background. So she had plenty of black faces to draw from and bring them on if she really wanted to make a conversation, if we're going to go that way. It wasn't about that.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see.
When you come in, people, hit that like button. You know the routine. Share this out. We want to hear from you on this one.
Hold on.
I'm going to be highlighting the chat. So I want to hear your opinion on it. If you think she didn't do anything bad, please come chat.
All right, yeah, there we go. I'm trying to I forgot, man. This damn thing is a nuisance, man. I'm trying to share my screen real fast.
Cue that shit up.
Wait a minute.
Do you think that historical catastrophes must be...
All right, hold on. That should be there.
Okay.
Oh shit! You know what? Hold on. Why didn't it come up? Hold on for a second, y'all. Hold on. I gotta figure this part out. Hold on. Wait a minute. Stop sharing. I don't understand why I didn't.
I know some of you people in the chat been with George Macon and me for a hot minute, so I know you remember them shows where we bring some of them Manosphere guys on back in the day, trying to have these conversations about their wayward behaviors from then.
Here you go. Tell me if you can hear it.
Compensated for?
No. That's stupid.
Yeah.
So then, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. Yeah. So
now watch this. Now this is a video. What's this brother's name, Richie?
So this brother's name, Sarah Garvey. You've probably seen him debating and doing shit, but he's been working with her on a freelance basis, dropping it. Now, I know he's going to drop some videos about his position on what she's doing and what she's going on with, and we're going to bring him on. I'm going to try and bring this brother on, me, George, a few people going to have a chat, so stay tuned for that. But he works with her, and this is a little interview he sent me just today to show, like, listen, I've had conversations with her, but this is how she acts when she's talked to about the black situation. Watch the ride.
Do you think that historical catastrophes must be compensated for?
No. That's stupid.
So then, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. Yeah. So then, how come there were groups of people that got compensation then?
Okay.
For instance, like Jewish people, Chinese people, Japanese people with the bonds. Like there were groups of people who got compensated.
I don't know.
So it wasn't fair.
What? Well, I'm talking about, like, when I think about group, I think about reparations. So I mean, maybe if the people were still alive today, like, I don't know, maybe. But Like when you said historical, I thought you meant like in the past,
In the
not
past.
the present.
Yeah, so like in the past, it's like people talk about slavery.
What
So in
else
the
does
past,
historical mean?
Holocaust happened in the past.
Yeah.
What else does historical mean? Notice how she's trying to play this dumb role, like she suddenly doesn't understand these basic words. And what does historical mean? Does that mean the past? You ass. Run the track. Run the fucking track.
But but see, this is the thing. What makes me mad about black folks, and I said now, if that brother was sitting down with an African American or African or somebody else, and they went and said what she was saying, it would turn into an argument immediately. We would start getting at each other's throat about this. This is what happens when these white people show up. The way we confront each other and the way we tear each other down, Lakeisha, when white people show up, we turn into something else, man. We turn, and this is the thing. She knows this. She knows this. And this is
I gotta say this as well. And make no mistake, yeah. Again, if we have this brother on, the questions will be asked. Like, did you not see the pattern of behavior? You know, is it gonna be a hard approach when you got to stand your ground? Because as George just said, when it's time for our internal beefs, everyone's going hard. There's no hold back. There's no talking quietly and making points. Everybody's going loud and proud, wrong and strong. Yeah, so it's funny when we're now confronting the center of the problem, because remember, everybody's signed to this chick. Everyone's on her platform. Everyone's rallying around her. The Manosphere are coming around her, and she's using them like a battery pack right about now, yeah? So it's funny to hear and to see the level in which men are going to challenge this and chat to her who are in her camp.
Man, yep.
Yeah.
Japanese, but people got compensated for it.
Yeah.
There's a book, right, called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Mm-hmm. And when you read that book,
now hold on. You see that book? That's Walter Rodney. He was killed in 1980 in Guyana by people by Indians. Yeah, I mean, you know, he was a black revolutionary. You know, I did a video called "When Black Power Was a Global Phenomenon." Walter Rodney was was serious about the Black Revolution. She quotes Thomas Sowell. She doesn't give a damn about no God. She hasn't read anybody else. But he's bringing up Walter Rodney. She doesn't know none of this stuff. She doesn't really know nothing about the black liberators or liberation stuff. She studied what the Manosphere dudes was doing, and she's just making money. And let's just look at some more.
You realize that the whole industrial revolution and stuff like that was started because of the colonization. And you just think, well, if you didn't do that, then you wouldn't be as successful.
So what do you mean by the colonization?
So the colonization of Africa. So
what?
Both the people and
she went to school.
There's a direct correlation between the colonization.
That's why I love it.
Industrial revolution.
Okay.
And so with all the metals and the rubber and all this kind of stuff coming from Africa, it fueled the industrial revolution of the West.
Wait, so you're saying like in Africa, when you say colonize, you're saying like did England come in and colonize?
Yeah, like so Europe, France, Spain, Portugal.
He's American, right? You know the American history, right?
Yes.
Wait.
She went to school. You know this shit? Listen. You don't even have watch this red lipstick and Lakeisha. She don't even have enough respect for black people to even lie and act like she do know if she didn't know. Because she makes money off of us. She don't even have enough respect to be like, damn, you know what? My bread and butter's coming off the backs of blacks. Let me act like I get it. Yeah, let me just to be in agreement with what he's saying. No, she don't care. It's some feedback. Yeah, she don't care. We got feedback again, Rich.
I ain't touched nothing. Nothing ain't changed. No levels ain't changed. Say something again.
We got feedback. Yeah, I can hear it low again. I don't know why.
No, nothing ain't changed on this end. Go on.
All right, I'm gonna play some. Damn, where's that feedback coming from? Hold on a second. Yeah, because this is muted. Let's play some more. Mute your mic real quick. Let me see what happens. Let me see what happens. Yeah, see, yeah, it's coming from that side because when you mute, ain't no more. There's no more feedback. I'm gonna play some more video.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
So they enslaved and at least colonized the continent.
Okay.
So when you colonize a continent and then you take ownership of the resources, you're able to gather those resources together and use them to your own benefit.
Right.
And so you gather those resources, use them to your own benefit, and build up your economy.
Right.
All the while messing up the economy of that actual country.
Right.
Do you think that?
Now, in this video, he's explaining to her this stuff, right? But let's go over to this one. Watch this. Watch this. Let's go over here to this one when she's talking to this girl. Watch this, Richie. Let me share it this way. Here we go.
At least that thought of like, this is going to be hard for us. We can't do this. And they stay there. And so I would agree. Obviously, I would agree with that quote. Like there are things that just happen in the world that we can't control. And it's just a lasting effect. Like you were saying earlier with the tax bracket.
Now, again, I want my sisters to see this, right? Because this is something I always talk about, brothers, and how we are. This is how we behave when we get around white folks. But we don't do this with each other, though. This sister know damn well how she feel about reparations and how she feel about what the white man did to us. But she's completely neutralized talking to this goddamn 26-year-old white woman who read a goddamn Time and Soul book and don't know anything. We would have cussed each other out. This is what we do. And this is what I'm trying to explain to our people on how she can come in. Wait till I get to the Mr. Fantastic and all of them. But I want to lead with this part first because I want to show, I've been saying this about Skinny, about how we behave around white folks. We big and bad amongst ourselves. We get around white folks, we start tripping and skipping, whipping and dipping, tiptoeing through the tulips. Goddamn. Look at this foolishness.
There's effects to anything and everything that you do, whether it's good or bad. But in that, I feel like you have to, if it negatively affects you, how can you bounce back? If it positively affects you, okay, how can you take that and run with it?
Yeah, I agree.
Watch this.
And that's what eventually led me away from it.
I don't want you to talk. I'm sorry, guys.
No.
We sure do.
You can say what's on. You can say what's on your mind.
No, nothing's on my mind.
We told her.
Okay, I'm sorry. No. It's just like I.
Look at this shit.
No, it's just like I think that.
I'm Yvette Nicole Brown. I'm here to talk about the.
I don't want to say
No, I
You
know.
don't want to say. You hear? Look, she don't want to say. it.
I
Watch
like
this.
having like conversations like this with the other side because I'm interested just to see
What's so
hear
funny?
like what are your thoughts about
like the
that
effect.
situation? Yeah, the effects.
Okay, it's more like, of course, there's going to be effects
Mhm.
like that. That happened for how long? I don't.
400?
Yeah,
I
of
should know
course.
this.
But it's more like, what can you do about it? You can't do anything about it
Mhm.
now.
Well,
Like,
if she's acting like she doesn't even know how long it happened and don't know the intricacies and all the things that we went through, why is she speaking on it? And why is this woman allowing her to speak on it? This is the shit that like this is the stuff, and I'm gonna get into all of this after I finish playing all of this out. We suffer from severe crackatosis, acute white affinity syndrome. I mean, it's
Yep.
severe. It's
Yep.
it's like we need emergency surgery right now. It's bad, and white folks know this shit, Lil Nar. They know it.
2022. So the only thing you can do is try to be like make right going forward. I don't think like they'll talk about reparations and stuff.
Okay, so reparations. I've seen on a lot of videos, like when the law was passed that they're no slavery, abolished
Mhm.
it. We were supposed to, well, not me, the slaves were supposed to get 40 acres and mule. And I remember asking my mom, like, who agreed on that? Why 40 acres and mule? And she like was telling me, like, well, back in the day, 40 acres, you had your own land, and a mule, you were able to put crops and be able to plant and have land to do that. And so now I've seen people calculate it like, well, if we go back and we talk about, we get the 40 acres and a mule, and then like they calculated like what else would we get now, and like what's the word, when interest, they've taxed interest on it, and they're like, we're owed like a lot of money. I'm like, if that was true today, I'd be a rich person if we got reparations. So I don't know if that's possible or if that's ever going to be a thing, but
So okay, so the problem with reparations is what percentage of white people do you think actually owned slaves in the U.S.?
She quoting Thomas Sowell right here.
I want you to notice her preciseness of how she's speaking to formulate this argument. To the ditzy white girl you saw in the other clip, where Ryman was dropping fans. Oh, what's that? What's this? Look how she immediately knew what she's about to say. So just look at the difference in which she's going to lay this one down with a certain certainty all of a sudden. Yeah?
And the other problem is money doesn't solve poverty. If money solved poverty, then like people could just throw money at a poor person and they'd become rich. But lottery winners, they're like they go broke faster than
What
anyone.
size poverty, Pearly?
Yeah,
What
it's
size
about like
poverty?
managing money and being able to run a business. Like I think reparations possibly at the time, like at the time, but you can't like how you're making people that didn't do anything pay for something their great.
Now I'm gonna pause that. Now right there, when she say that, those are old white supremacist talking points. Where why should I have to pay? Now, when do you don't see white folks out in the mainstream like that saying that against Jews or other groups, right? And you have certain white folks that also got reparations after the war that owned slaves. They got reparations, right, for the war and losing their slaves. So this is the thing, right? When she knows how delicate of a topic this is amongst blacks in the West, and she's boldly speaking on this, knowing that she has black people that she makes money off of. I don't blame Pearlie for this. I blame us. This is our fault. Because as a matter of fact, no, I'm gonna wait, Lakeisha, because I'm gonna show y'all.
Grandparents did. Even if you did the direct descendants, like most people immigrated here after slavery. Like I have a grandparent from Lithuania or a great grandparent from Lithuania.
Oh, you're saying that? Okay, I thought okay.
Like and you have to understand even and then what about the white people that fought on the other side?
That fought.
Now you hear all these talking points, right? These are the talking points that white conservatives use and neo-Nazis use. And they're saying that their militia is the one that established America. Their militias is the one that fought against Europe. Man, y'all got to understand the talking points and all the stuff that they do. She's using these talking points. She's not stupid. She's raised in the white nationalist home. She knows this stuff. Now, when it comes to slavery, and she's not getting into how the labor was built and how institutions was built based off of black wealth, based off of cotton, based off of rice, based off of sugar. Who was working in those fields? And then after slavery, we had a whole 100 years of Jim Crow and segregation. She's not getting into all of that.
Well, hold up. Remember the last interview where he's telling her that shit and telling her the rise of that is what's giving the boom to the West, is making people want to come to America, come to Europe, do work. That's all off the back of the slavery. Remember her whole ditzy. Oh, really? What colonialized? I don't know. That was her responses. But now you can with a surety say this talk here. Really?
Look, let's listen to a little bit more, then we're going to get into Obsidian.
Against.
Yeah. So it's almost like I just don't know how that would work.
It's like you're Okay, I understand what you're saying. It's like you're grouping everybody,
No, you're not.
all the white
It's
people
against the
together.
federal government.
When
It has
it's like,
nothing to do with them.
my descendants to have nothing to do. We were elsewhere when all this stuff was happening.
I want y'all black people to understand when you hear white folks talk like this, they're not your friends. I keep telling you, you have no friends on multiple levels. Our grievances is with the federal government, the United States government, for what they allow and laws that was not enforced to protect us. White folks, black folks are bearing the burden of things that happened to us in times of past, and white folks benefit from it. You benefit just from being white. But I want to get over here. Let's cross over real quick. Let's cross over. Let's go over here. Let's go to these timestamps. Now, where I want to start off at.
Remember, it's muted.
Yeah, I know. Let's start off with Jessica X.
When asked upon, because I don't know where this conversation is going to go to in regards to helping the conversation move forward.
I want to give Just Pearly Things a chance to respond, and then we'll go to Jessica X. Go right ahead, Pearl.
No, I agree with what he said.
Very good. Jessica X, you're on the air. Go right ahead. You're on the air with Just Pearly Things. And this is very interesting because you're also a native Brit of...
Now, I want y'all to listen to Obsidian. I want y'all to listen to these black men on here and how they defend this white woman. I mean, it's unbelievable. The level of coonery, and buffoonery, shucking and jiving is at an all-time high. I'm talking about coons a hazard high.
A black background. So go right ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, so I did my live stream yesterday, and I know Pearl listened to it. I saw her in the chat. And I could see actually both sides of the situation and what's going on. But I do have to say that even in this interview so far, Pearl, and the first thing I said in my show was that you should not have spoken on this issue because you as a white person are removed from a black person's experience. And that comes through in the arguments that you're making about reparations. You say that it's not fair for white people today to pay for, the sins of their forefathers, of their ancestors, but white people today benefit from the sins of their forefathers and ancestors. Black people today have to struggle because of the sins of white people's forefathers and ancestors. And that's what reparations is about. White people in America have had hundreds of years of head starts over black people. Whether they utilize it or not, they have had that opportunity where black people haven't. So reparations is to make up for that. Because you're white, it's not your situation. It's not something you can experience or empathize with. You're so far removed, and I don't think that you see that. And that's why it doesn't make sense for you to speak on these situations, because you're so removed from it. Your stance is unsympathetic, it's out of touch, and it's not something that you need to be speaking on publicly. So I'll say that about that.
Pearl, your response, and I would like to respond too.
What do you need to respond for? It's Pearl's interview, nigga.
No, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I agree. I shouldn't really talk about that stuff. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much simpler left that way.
Watch I would say this, Justin.
Watch Coon City. This is the thing that I don't understand. If Pearlie's up here on the high seat to take questions, why the fuck is Coon City speaking for her? And then he's throwing in challenge. He's challenging what she's saying by throwing in shit that don't make sense. Come on, Coon City, come on.
Jessica, I accept your premise that Pearl is not qualified to discuss this. As a native-born Black American who can trace his lineage back to before the Civil War, I can say that you may be on thin ice on this in this regard as well. Professor Glenn Lowry, born in Chicago, a graduate of Northwestern University and MIT, one of the youngest tenured professors at Harvard University that's Black ever, holding forth now at Brown University, also is against reparations. Are you familiar with that, Jessica?
Oh, before Richie, what the frick? What the fuck does that got to do with what Jessica X is asking her? I mean, he just interjected with this coonery. I mean,
this is what they do.
Who cares about what that professor thinks? Who cares? Wait till I get the psychopatheist part. Because listen, psychopatheist was talking to her. Coon Cidian was trying to debate Psycho. Psycho's like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm asking her questions, not you. I mean, listen, the level of the man. I'm gonna put the link down for Psycho to come up in a minute too.
It doesn't matter, Obsidian. That's besides my point. Whether Professor Brown is against reparations.
Professor Lowry.
Professor Lowry, sorry. Professor Lowry is entitled to his opinion, and Black people have different stances on the reparations. But again, it's something that you experience, and it's part of what you know. It's external to Pearl. It's alien. And I get what you're saying in terms of me skating on thin ice, and I acknowledge that. I acknowledged that in my live stream yesterday, and I challenge you to find where I give my stance on slavery and reparations. The furthest I go is that I think Black people deserve reparations, and I'm saying that as somebody that has Black in me, right?
But this is the thing: she has one Black parent that's from the Caribbean. She can speak on it because she has lineage from the Caribbean that comes from slavery. This white woman don't have it at all. She has a mixed side. Coon Cidian knows that, but he's protecting her. But let's just listen to some more,
man. Right? People are quick to disqualify the Black Brit experience or the Black Brit stance on slavery, but you have to remember a sizable amount of our population here is Caribbean, who are also descendants of slavery.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. 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 And I have no problem with the Caribbean case for reparations. I have nothing to say about it, as I'm not Caribbean and have not studied the matter to any degree. My only point in pointing out
you need to study.
Lowry, number one, I've actually interviewed him on this channel, and we talked about the reparations issue, and he said on this channel why he was against reparations, and part of the reason was the same as Pearl.
Yo, are you fucking serious?
You see, the problem is, and that's why, again, when you start to talk to them about the Jews,
hold on 1 second, Richard.
the Japanese, all these people.
One second. Hey, I'm dropping the link in the chat for Psycho. Only Psycho will come up real quick because when I play Psycho's timestamp, I want him to be able to speak on it. Psycho, if you can come up, come up. I want you to be able to speak on it. When I play your timestamp, I want you to speak for yourself. All right, go ahead, Richie.
Well, again, you're making this case for this idiot professor, but again, when we played the clip before and we're talking about all the other groups that have received reparations, she's acting like she don't even get the concept. Yeah, but suddenly you're gonna talk on now. Suddenly it's Black people saying like we shouldn't get shit.
Let me play some more. Wait till y'all hear these other people, man.
His position was, are we going to make whites, the vast majority of whom, by the way, got here after slavery ended, pay for those who did engage in it and others? So I'm just pointing out that Pearl is not unique along racial lines for taking an anti-reparations stand.
But what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Let's go. Let's move down. Let's listen to this coon. I mean, like the spear chucking and man.
That's just my opinion. I don't think everybody holds that as that opinion, but I think is the actual.
Hey,
Listen to
Pearl,
this dude.
why are you apologizing?
Listen to this guy.
That's the part that's confusing me.
Why? I just think that I should have done my homework before that interview, and I should have had someone on the other side, and I really shouldn't have spoken on things that I don't know before the interview. So that's why.
But isn't that the purpose of an interview, to find out things you don't know?
Yeah, well, you're supposed to be asking questions though, not really giving your personal opinions.
Of course you can give your personal opinion. It's your show. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing wrong with that show you did with Nick.
Now I want y'all, this is a real live 2023 Samba. I want y'all to listen to this man is dangerous. These are the people, and as a pro-black, I feel vindicated because I've been calling these people out for years, and my channel has suffered for it. But so what? So what? Listen to this guy, man. You mean to tell me, will any of you black women lay down with a guy like this?
There was nothing wrong with that. So you don't have to apologize. Because other people got in their feelings, that's a different issue. But you didn't do anything wrong. Not in my opinion, no.
Yeah, I just saw it as a learning experience. So, yeah.
And then there was another thing brought up by, I think E-Black. I think E-Black brought it up. This phrase, you're not qualified to speak on this topic. What do you think that means?
Watch this. Oh, wow.
What do I think that means? I think that
Yes,
means if you're gonna use sources and speak about a topic, that you should have a deeper understanding than I did.
Because it sounds like he's saying you can't speak on black topics because you're not black, which I feel is stupid.
That's what it sounds like to me too, to tell you the truth. I'll be brutally frank with you. Stay where you are, Clue. Let me go to Black Thoughts.
Sir.
Black Thoughts, you're on the air. Obsidian Radio, Just Pearly Things Unplugged. Go right ahead.
Thanks for having me, Obsidian.
No problem. Go right ahead.
So I don't so much have a question for her. I just find the line of questioning abhorrent. I feel like some of the questions she's being asked is trying to trap her. And I really want to know, why would a bunch of Joe Biden supporters be upset about her having Nick Fuentes on? I'm looking at the chat and I'm just trying to figure this out. This is absurd to me. Nick Fuentes said these things, not her. So I'm not understanding the point of outrage.
That's not particularly a question of Just Pearly Things, but I'll go to her for her reaction. Pearl, your reaction.
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, let me go to Amiri Brown. Amiri Brown, the great liberator. Go right on ahead.
I think they're responding to Jason Black, not Pearl. Jason Black got a lot of people in their
hang on, one at a time, please. Amiri has the floor. Amiri Brown, go right there. You're on the air with Just Pearly Things.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on? I'm sitting there. I appreciate you letting me up on the panel. Hey, how you doing, Pearly Things? You might not know who I am. I am Amiri.
Hey, I'm gonna let Amiri play Psycho. At the next timestamp, I'm gonna play Mr. Fantastic. I want you to speak that. I'm gonna let you and you and Richie get that. You and Richie get Mr. Fantastic.
No doubt, no doubt.
Brown, host of the Mary Brown Show. A couple of things that I wanted to address. I think when we're having this discussion about what happened with, as I'll call it, Hategate. I think this is what happens with white people. Even though you yourself might not consider yourself to be racist, what tends to happen is when white people get in the company of other white people who are racist or white supremacists, they don't give pushback, or they'll in a roundabout way co-sign a lot of the hatred and venom that these white supremacists will spew at other minority groups, mainly black people. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we were seeing with with your interaction with Nick Fuentes, which speaks to how problematic it was bringing a known white supremacist, white nationalist onto your panel, onto your show, and then addressing the reparations piece. You mentioned how that you acknowledged your advantages as a white woman from a 2-parent household, and how that basically gave you a leg up. But then out the other side of your mouth, you're against reparations. And I think this is what happens, that when we talk about racism, when we talk about white supremacy, something doesn't have to be race based in order for it to reinforce white supremacy. It can be like what you're displaying by acknowledging how you're very privileged, not because you're only white, but because you're a woman and because you're from a 2-parent middle class background, and how those advantages from those 3 different perspectives gives you a leg up over black people in this country who, because of racism, have not been able to experience what we would consider the traditional American dream. And I think this is as I'm sitting here listening to your explanations and the things you're saying, this is what's creating a problem for me, because it's double speak, it's double talk. You mentioned about how men are discriminated against in this society, and again earlier you mentioned how because you're a white woman from a middle class background, how you have a certain level of advantage. And then finally, the only thing I want to say, I have no problem with anybody advocating for men. I do think we do need male advocacy in this country. My problem is from content creators like yourself and Andrew Tate and others, is we want to blame women for the problems of men, when if you want to say that men are being discriminated against, we never talk about who's discriminating against them. It's not women discriminating against men, it's other men. You know what I'm saying? It's men who are driving these larger socioeconomic dynamics that's putting many average men in a rough spot. It's not coming from women, but yet when we see the content from so-called male advocates, they only speak to women as if it's somehow the responsibility of women to give men some type of purpose or station in life, when a lot of these problems are being spearheaded by men. And I'll just end it with that.
Pearl, your response. Go right ahead.
I don't really feel like going back and forth on the men versus women topic. I could, that's just gonna be a long conversation. But I was asked my opinion on reparations. I gave it. I don't really feel like going in depth about it. I've had certain advantages in life.
So now this is more double speak, because that's not what you said in the video that Obsidian just played. You said that you would be willing to have a back and forth with someone who was well informed enough to educate you properly on these issues.
Now, see, she's on here now with somebody that's going to challenge her. Sarah didn't challenge her. That young girl didn't challenge her. Now she's on a hot seat with somebody would challenge her intellect about that, and she's running for the hills now. And I was surprised, Psycho, that Obsidian stayed quiet on this part.
That's what I thought I heard.
But I thought it was about, like, we weren't talking about men and women today. Like, that wasn't the topic of the stream. But as for reparations, I just don't agree with them. But it's really not the hill I'm going to die on. So that's just my personal opinion.
All right, we're going to move on.
All right, hold on.
We're going to go to Man of Tomorrow.
No, hold on. Let's go over to watch this. Let's go over to I'm gonna give you the floor, Psycho, on this one.
If you don't mind, that was a little business.
Goes in that direction, or
hold on. Let's
I will have controversial guests on. I have a controversial show, so I think it'd be silly to say I won't have controversial guests on in the future. But I will be more prepared, and if someone has a controversial opinion, I will make sure that there is someone else to combat it. So I'm not, so it's not just one person.
Let me go to, because people in the chat room have reminded me of this, and they're right. I completely forgot all about Mr. Fantastic. My bad.
Yo, brace yourself for this. Put on your seatbelts, man. I mean, God, Hey, Psycho, I gotta be 100% true. I think if I seen him in person, me and him would have to get a head, just a square up. You know how back in the day they form a circle and you just get a pair one-on-one. We would have we just have the box, man. I don't want to kill him. I don't want to hurt him, but we definitely got to go head up. We definitely got to go head up because he out of pocket, bro. I'll let you and Richie get this one after we listen to what he say.
Bad, Mr. Fantastic, you're on the air. Just Pearly Things Unplugged. Go right ahead, brother. You have the floor.
Yo, what up? Oh man, appreciate you for coming on. Pearly, what's up? Yeah. So I really had a question for Blessing because I don't know if you guys remember what Blessing said, and Blessing said he was being attacked. For him, I guess not quitting or whatever.
I think he just texted me his phone died, but I can call him if you want. I can get him.
That's great. I would actually have more questions for Blessings because I'm trying to point out a thing where we're talking about racism. So Pearly, how many, if you don't mind, that was a little business. How many black employees do you have? Well, not I don't even say employees. How many black people do you partner with?
Wait, hold on. You said someone has a question for you on the stream.
All right, yeah.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Watch
Can you hear me?
Cool shit.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Blessing, what's up, fam? Hey, man, I had a quick question, brother. When you was up here, you said that you were getting threats from black people about not quitting or something like that. You said.
Yep.
Wow, black people were telling you to. So, brother, can I ask you this a little personal? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. So, before you were working for Pearly, were you making more money before you were working for Pearly, or is Pearly the most money you ever made in your life?
That was the most money I've made in my life.
Okay, so were any of those black people that were telling you to quit working for Pearly offering you a job equal to or more money than what Pearly was paying you?
No.
Oh, okay. So they just wanted you to just quit working for the white woman and go back to, I guess, figuring it out on your own, basically.
Pretty much, they don't really care for.
And brother, were these UK people or American people or a little bit of both? Which was it? Was it mostly one or the other?
Sorry, what?
He wants to know. I'll tell him. He wants to know: was it American people sending you these messages or UK?
Listen to her.
It's American people, mostly. Then a little bit of UK ones, but mostly American.
Mostly American. Okay, cool. All right, that's all I need from him, Pearl. Thank you, brother.
And please allow me to do the following.
Allahu
Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! And also this.
Look at her laughing.
Guys, I didn't pay him to say that.
Look at her laughing.
How was that? How was that?
So I guess.
How was that? Oh.
Yeah.
He ain't finished.
Okay, but either way, furthermore, so Pearl, another big thing too. People, let's see it's still going.
A long ass sound effect.
Oh man, you ain't shit.
I'm just saying. Anyway, you were saying, bro.
Yeah, so Pearl, another thing, Pearl, and I'm not trying to pocket watch Pearl, but I just gotta prove a point. Pearl, could you give us like the demographic? What's your demographics of UK subs to American subs? Can you give us a percentage?
It's about 10% UK, about 50% American subs, 40%. Or no, I can do math. 30. Wait, no. Yeah, 40% elsewhere.
Okay, so wow, so you even have a bigger global thing overall. That's also so you have 50% American and the rest is just global, not even just UK.
Yeah, well that's why the answer I gave earlier was when he asked me like what percent of my audience I thought was black. I said like 20 to 30 because half of it's
Africa. I'd imagine being that you work with a lot of Africans and Nigerians, probably a big hunk of that 30% or 40% would be Africans more likely than not. I mean, I'm just guessing. I'm not saying it, but either way. So either way, okay.
Could be. I don't know.
So again, I'm just trying to walk down a lot of these things that people put out here and claim or whatnot, what have you. So can you tell us, just run down the line, what's the first black YouTube space you touched? Was it Lapeef? Was it Obsidian? Was it who? What was it?
And I've got a lot of flack for doing this, but I used to do reactions to rap videos. So if we're going to be specific.
Well, no. But I'm talking about like so black
Oh, like
Manosphere.
Manosphere, Kevin Samuels. I would say I did reactions to him. I was a big fan.
I'm talking about actually when you started. So everybody's talking about when you started coming around the panels because no one knew you when you were on Kevin Samuels. You were just some regular white girl on Kevin Samuels.
Okay. The first person I collaborated with. I
gotta pause it for a minute, right? You see how they going out of their way to defend this woman? Before Kevin Samuels died,
Yes.
all of these jokers turned on Kevin Samuels. And they make videos disrespecting the black women that actually cater to their talking points. All of them. And what he's doing now is creating a protection barrier around her by creating a narrative for her that she can walk through. And this is the shit that these niggas do, man. That's why he got to give me a fade, man. Hold on, let's listen to some more for him before I get the psycho part.
I don't think he's that favorable on this side of YouTube, but it was Donovan Sharp.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Donovan Sharp. Okay, how many subs did you have when you saw Donovan Sharp?
He asked me to be on a panel. Like it was like a not all women panel, and it was, I don't know, maybe 20,000 roughly.
20,000. That was a long time ago. Okay, so Sharp isn't Black Manosphere. He's a Miss Potato Head light skinned nigga, but we ain't talking about him. But
shout out to Donovan Sharp.
Yeah.
You know what? You know that's so good. I gotta do it. It's so good. I gotta do it anyway.
That's all on me. That's all on me. Yeah, I meant Dr. Robotnik, but either way, it's about the same. But either way, Pearl, I'm talking about. So when I've been back since like September, and I saw you on Lapeef Network. You did the thing with Obsidian, and then you had like I think another thing with well, of course, MTR was later. So the thing that I'm trying to get to pretty much is, you were well off and beyond 500,000 subs once you even hit the radar over here, and we started even noticing anything about you. Okay, the claim is that somehow you got all of your subs or the majority of your subs from the Black Manosphere specifically, not just the Manosphere at large, but the Black Manosphere space. Okay.
Well, I have such a mixed audience. This is another misconception. Like a lot of people like the pivot question. Are you pivoting into conservative? My first viral video was reacting to Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
It was like I showed my friend the red pill for the first time. It was Jordan Peterson. That's like the video that like that was the first month I made real money on YouTube. I'm trying to remember because like that's the turning point for me. I guess she's South African, so maybe she's mixed with something.
Okay, but she's South African, but she's a white lady, right?
Yeah, I mean she looks white.
So do you think that white lady was more disrespectful or more anything to any of the other Black female guests you ever had on the show? You think if you had
I would say someone that threatens me, I would put it number one. Yes.
Oh,
is this the woman that you had that you famously Frank Castled off your show?
Esther is a close second. Let me tell you, Esther is a
Frank
close
canceled
second.
2 people on that episode.
Yeah,
oh, she Frank Castled 2 of them.
Shout out to T. Richards, man. I thought she was gonna.
Oh, she was Moroccan. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. She was Moroccan.
She's Moroccan.
Guys, I don't.
Hey, Psycho.
Man.
You wasn't up on the panel yet when he was talking, right?
No, I was in the chat. At that time.
Yeah, and this dude, man, I'm ready to get to yours. Yours. But what I want to do is I want to make y'all laugh. Listen to this Nigerian dude, man. And this is why me and Richie we battle on the phone a lot of times, and I say that Africa ain't ready. Listen to this guy, man. This shit is scary.
The dirty work for them, and they're too scared.
Yes. Go right
okay. Hi, Pearl. Thanks a lot, Obsidian, for the opportunity. I'm in Nigerian. I stay in Nigeria. Actually, I'm an undergraduate, and I have a couple of questions for you. But I wanted to first say I've actually been a subscriber from like when you were like 50,000 subscribers, and I've been watching your content. I think you're a very hard worker, and I think anyone that is like referring to your privilege is just trying to like praise your parents for the good sacrifices they made while they were young, because they made sacrifices, and that's why you're here today. So about slavery and the whole thing, just wanted to quickly say that it wasn't like they were capturing Black people from Africa. There was a deal with African leaders. So and the leaders were actually involved in it. So it's not like it was just like going to bushes capturing people. And if the same thing echoes back today, because leadership in West Africa is pretty bad. So if it was really good, I think a lot of Black people will leave America and come to Nigeria or Ghana or Ivory Coast and come back to face their roots. But I have a few questions for you. First is the comment about bringing Africans to America. Do you think it would be offensive to say bringing Americans to Africa? Just wanted to answer that first.
Listen to this shit, man.
Yeah, I think it was because I said my. Like if I said my Americans, I think.
So if you said bringing my Africans to America, would you be offensive saying bringing my Americans to Africa?
I don't know. Maybe they would be offended. Maybe they wouldn't. Probably they would probably be offended.
Degree go off.
Okay. Why do you think they'll be offended by saying bringing my Americans to Africa?
Jesus.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, why I'm asking that is because I see a lot of like victimhood playing out, and maybe it's because I don't live in America. I live in Nigeria, but you know the president's black, the vice is black, everybody's black, and see how the country is, right? So just anyway. Secondly, MTR. I watched his reaction video, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to join this live stream because I was a bit disappointed. Do you have any?
What's going on?
Can you hear me?
It's funny. The Nigerian guy that works for me has the same problem with the internet always dropping.
He about to go off.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to ask about MTR. Like I watched his reaction video, and that's why I decided to join. That's one of the reasons I decided to join the live stream because I was a bit disappointed by his.
Just keep going.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's just.
I think he's asking about MTR's video.
Yeah, we got the question. Thanks, Nachi. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
You know,
like let me move over to Psycho. Psycho about to come on.
That was his choice to do that. Yeah, I wasn't really faulting him for it.
Scott, we have yet one more.
Subs. People lied to me too and told me she had like 100 pearly things or whatever.
All right,
you don't owe me or nobody else. You don't owe me or nobody else any apologies at all. That let's get that clear. Like I don't blame a tiger for going tiger, right? So you pretty much did what I would expect you to do. These other people might be shocked, I'm not, right? So you don't owe nobody no apology, at least not on my end, right? So I can only speak for me. As far as the old boy just said, as far as she don't talk about black relationships, when I took a peek at her channel, all I saw was black people all in the thumbnails and topics about directly affecting the black community. I mean, I think it's a joke to sit here and try to play like she's catering to a broader audience other than, but every time I look at her thumbnails, there's somebody black on there. I mean, she has a whole black, well, not a whole black, at least it looked like she got a majority black staff. I mean, so it's obvious who she's catering to. And if I'm not mistaken, she said last year she only had less than 100,000 subs. People lied to me too and told me she had like hundreds of thousands of subs before she found the Manosphere. But she just said earlier that she had less than 100,000 last year, and now she got. Go ahead.
So when they talk about the followers that I used to have a very female audience. It was 80% female, and I almost had 1 million followers on TikTok. So I came from TikTok. So
okay, so they were talking about the TikTok following.
So if you heard people saying that I had followers before and a following, it was because I came from TikTok. Okay. My last show was What Makes a Good Wife. Would you say that's a race issue?
Say that part again.
My last show, it was What Makes a Good Wife, where the women had to go through and talk about what makes a good wife. Would you say that's a race issue?
In itself, no. Not the topic in itself, but that depends again. But the way you paint it it is directed towards black people. I mean, like the title might be a broad title or whatever, but if you click on it, and you look, it's all black people on the panel. I mean, you mainly be questioning a lot of black women.
Mm-hmm.
I see you question a lot of black women. I don't see you questioning no white women about nothing.
Oh, my most viral clip was a white chick that called herself like an 8 who is morbidly obese. That's like one of my top. That was I don't know if it's still my top clip, but it was for like a long time. And I was like, why do you think you're an 8? And that was back in like June or maybe July, August. I do agree that it is mostly black women on my panel. Like I do agree with that. There's no.
Let me ask you this, Psychopath.
Okay.
Could it be possible? Excuse me.
There you go.
Could it be possible that Just Pearly Things having on so many black women on these issues and not so many white women, could that be just a reflection of the fact that these issues just not that acute among white women?
Woo! What relationship talk?
Well, I mean, we can look at objective measures. For example, we know that white women are more married than black women. When we look at college-educated white women and compare them to college-educated black women, college-educated white women outmarry college-educated black women by a wide margin, and not for the reasons that we have been told by college-educated black women all these years. The real reason is not because there aren't enough brothers to go around. It's because black women don't make getting married in college a priority. They just don't. They wait until they're too old.
We can have a good conversation about that, Obsidian. I don't want to get too caught up with that gender stuff and everything right now as far as that goes. Because, I can easily say, married people have arguments too, and they have problems in their relationships too. That's why the divorce rate is so high. But we can have that conversation another time.
Well, black women have the highest divorce rate of all, though. At 80%.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like I said, we can have that conversation.
Hey, Psycho. Hey, Psycho.
Yeah.
Hey, you see how he tried to cut in there and really he tried to discredit what you were saying in reference to that.
Ad hominem's typical, and it was all this was deflections, red herrings. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. You saw how he immediately tried to have a debate with me about relationships and everything else. I'm like, Obsidian, stop. Like we have this conversation all the time. Like we can have this conversation later on this week on my platform, your platform, on a neutral platform, whatever. This ain't the time for that. We like what are we talking about?
I'm glad you brought it back though. I was in my car and listening at the time. I said, Psycho, don't let him do it. Bring it back. And you got it. You said, yo, I ain't doing this with you right now. I'm gonna talk about. Watch what he say to him, y'all.
I'm not even going to
push
back
know
on
that? Oh, okay. Did you know that black women have the highest breakup rate and intimate partner violence rate when they get with other women? Did you know that?
Yeah, I know about the lesbians. Yeah, I know all about the lesbian stats and everything else. I've actually addressed that one before, but I don't.
So clearly, all I'm suggesting is, if the argument is that Just Pearly Things is targeting black women with these conversations, maybe part of the reason why is because that's where the action is. It's like asking the police to go and police Asian folk when they commit the less crimes. Why don't you go? Why don't you lock up the reason why we don't lock up Asian folk is because Asian folk out here gangbanging. Asian folks ain't out here raping. Asian folks ain't out here killing.
Obsidian. Can she answer the questions? Yes. Okay, thank you. Now she's mentioned something about the interviewing and everything else, and how she what did she say exactly? She was saying how she found out about him because she found out he had his he was on no flight list and he had his bank accounts frozen and all this other stuff. Hell, I didn't even know all that about Nick.
Yeah,
she knew all that, but yeah, she said.
I think he mentioned it in a No Jumper interview where he was like, "I've had my bank account on the thing." So I think that.
Yeah.
No,
I just find it hard to believe you knew all that, but you didn't know the other stuff about him. When that's what he's most famous for.
Oh, no. I knew he was notorious. I just didn't know what was true. Because, okay, if you Google me, it's going to say misogynist, all this stuff, horrible person. And so it's like, I can have him on and go in with all these preconceived notions. Or I could go in with an open mind and let him speak.
It seemed like he was asking. It seemed like he was asking a lot of leading questions. Like you kind of was like you kind of was trying to get him to co-sign what you already believe, your presuppositions that you already hold. And it seemed like he was asking him leading questions let's say I saw.
I'll give you
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I don't think women should vote. So, I'll give you that one. I was trying to get him to say that,
Yeah.
But yeah, I've said that before,
Yeah, let me
One last thing, because I know Obsidian getting.
hang on.
Can I get one last thing off?
I just want to interject here because there's somebody in the chat room saying a lady. I'll put it up here. A lady says exactly. You prove the point. She's targeting the black community. Why? Because it's a popular and lucrative area. It doesn't mean she cares to fix the problems. So she's supposed to fix the problems that black women have created.
Incredible.
She's supposed to fix. Hold it. She's supposed to fix the problems that black women themselves have created. Black women have made billions off of black female fuckery. Oprah Winfrey is the queen of black female.
Let me pause this for a minute. Let me say this. When they do these statistics about black folks, we know that for years we've had problems with the way our image has been portrayed. Don't believe these statistics that they put out there. I always tell y'all, stop believing the lie. Their objective is to use media, mass media, to project you a certain way, to make you view yourself a certain way. They want you to see yourself the way that they project you, so that way you can manifest those outcomes for their financial gain. They want you to see yourself the way that they project you, so you can manifest those type of behaviors for their financial gain. White people all across America kill themselves, kill their husbands, beat their wives, have unmarried kids, all in Ohio, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Michigan, all in these states. Stop believing this foolishness, man. They use the media to promote you a certain way. And they always did that through propaganda. They don't hide that the way that they propaganda, the way the CIA and the OSS propagandized black people. They did it since slavery. So he's espousing off all of those white supremacist talking points of propaganda. They do it over in the West. Go ahead, Psycho.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I was saying facts. That's what the whole Manosphere is centered around. That's why Thomas Sowell is his man. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, like she might have got Thomas Sowell, but probably not, because white supremacists passed Thomas Sowell around like an old used up girl that from the block or something that's been ran down. Like they just pass him around. It's that third. Like they love Thomas Sowell because he's been a mouthpiece for a minute since the 70s.
Yeah, and there's so many other people like Dr. Amos Wilson. People like Dr. John Henry Clark. You've had people that's come along and broke things down. She ain't never picked up a book to study none of those people. And don't think for a minute that she don't know who they are, because she's over there in London with other black people that do study this stuff. I'm sure Sarah has. Matter of fact, Sarah brought what's the name's book up to her, and the conversation that they were having. Walter Rodney's book.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah brought that up in the video I showed about when I first started. He brought that up to her. So she's had access to this stuff. But I'm telling y'all, listen, man, they show black people killing each other in these inner cities, right? And I'll do videos about it. I go off. Listen to me. Across the states of Pennsylvania, California, New York, Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, New Mexico, white people are killing each other every day. And astronomical numbers. Read the American news, not your local news. You're gonna see white father snaps out and kills his whole family. Am I lying, Psycho? It's always there.
Yep.
But they don't promote it the way they promote us. So you begin to project and see yourself as a nigga because they told you was a nigga. And then you got dudes like this reinforcing this stuff for the white woman. So the question that will be asked, Psycho, is if black women have made all this money reinforcing these stereotypes, who's financially funding it, and whose telecast is it going on? Who's funding it? Who's behind it, taking it worldwide from local?
The same people they defended.
Man, these people are fucking idiots, man. And he's sitting there. So Psycho's trying to get off his questions, but he keeps interjecting Again, they're creating a door for her to be able to walk through. It's kind of like they done circled this white woman and they won't let Psycho or nobody else really get to her to ask her no questions. It's kind of like she got the Nation of Islam around it. Hold on, brother. Hold on.
Yep.
That's what they're doing right now. They stiff arming you.
Brother's Django right now.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
she's
it
made
is.
billions from it, but you're mad because now Pearlie can make a couple of coins from it. That's the real problem a lot of us have with Pearl. It's time that the truth be told. You didn't say anything about Oprah Winfrey. You didn't say anything about Essence. You didn't say anything when Ebony magazine went from a proud tradition to a feminist shill. You didn't say anything about Kimberly Foster. You didn't say anything about Derrick Jackson. Don't get me started on that. You didn't say anything about Steve Harvey. You didn't say anything about all of those people for years and decades making buku money off of the fuckery of black women. But here come Pearl, and now all of a sudden you got your back up. Bitch, please. You know what? Where's my... Hold on a second.
Now, you hear all this shit? So the black woman, because she disagrees with Pearlie, is a bitch. He's going off.
Mm-hmm.
This is the
It's
shit.
like he's a preacher. He's a preacher. He's trying to lull him back. He's trying to lull him back to sleep. With trying to lull his congregation back to sleep with his little silly rhetoric, trying to deflect right back to black women, so they can be like, yeah, this black women's fault. Yeah. You know, like, cause that's buzzwords for those dudes over there. You mentioned black women. You know, black women is Lucifer to them over there. So you mentioned that's a trigger word, right? So they immediately they mind goes somewhere else, and now it's smoke and mirrors. Now they forgetting what the actual topic was supposed to be. They forgetting who the attention was supposed to be on, because now they minds that went back to the whole, you know, evil black women destroying the world mindset.
Yeah, she over. Look at her face, Psycho. She over there laughing when he's saying this shit. This is.
Yep.
Well, see, when I'm gonna wait to say what I say when I play what's the name's part, because he really got at it good. Super Sly.
Where's my
He wouldn't let you get to her the way you wanted to. He kept cutting you off.
Right.
Rudy Ray Moore? God damn it! I gotta. He
made me do it. Bitch, are you for real?
Stop it. Go ahead, Psycho Piggies. You wanted to continue.
Yeah. And I want to address the whole slavery thing, right?
Hold on real quick. Now, you notice, Psycho, he was letting you go long because he wanted to cut you off. See, I know him. When his people come up, he don't really interject too much because they're saying the things that he once heard. The reason why he was letting you go along and kept cutting you off because he was trying to actually belittle you in front of his audience.
Right.
That's why he was trying. You know what? Go ahead, Psycho, continue. So every time you continue, you would say something, he would interject. Like these, man, these dudes, man. This dude from my city, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So he'll let you go as long as until you're ready to stop.
Mm-hmm. Right, because he noticed when you're getting ready to play when you get the Super Slide part, watch how he let Super Slide rock. He ain't interject one time.
No, I know.
He let Super Slide rock the entire time, uninterrupted.
Yep.
Now, I got to call Cap on what she said earlier, because earlier, I honestly, it was so long ago, I don't know if she said it, but somebody alluded to, it's not her fault that Nick Fuentes brought up slavery within the interview. And I got to remind people, he did not bring up slavery. He brought up the Holocaust. And then she turned around and she brought up slavery and tried to make the comparison. And it's not the first time that I heard her mention slavery being via some other clips that I've seen. It seems like she has a hard on about slavery, and I'm curious to know what's her obsession with it.
I would say I've read Thomas Sowell, and he's written like 80 books on it. So I've read one or two, but I wouldn't call myself an expert, so.
Yeah, that's only one source, and he's not the most reliable source to go to talk about slavery.
I just thought like 80 books was a lot, but but it's then give me another source. We can go through some sources.
I give you a bunch of sources. I give you channels, everything.
The whole point is that you're just supposed to shut up and stop talking about it. But it's okay. But it's okay.
No, you can talk about it. Just be studied. Like if you're gonna bring up the whole black, like if you're gonna bring up the black slave, like you're gonna bring up Thomas Sowell black slave. Let's
hold on a second. If we want to be studied about it, then where's all the smoke with Nicole Hannah Jones? Where's her study scholarship? Where is it?
I'm saying I always feel when people talking about slavery. I always feel
exactly.
You see him? Look at these two faggots up there. Look at the two faggots up there laughing.
Yep.
These two homosexual dick in the booty ass niggas up here. Look at these two niggas and they think it's funny. Last time I checked, the Manosphere was supposed to be. Oh, hold on. Last time I checked, the Manosphere was supposed to be for men. That's the last time I checked. So how is it that if the Manosphere was supposed to be a safe space for men, how is it you defending a white woman though? Out of all the women you could defend,
in the black Manosphere
to the point where he would diss you at another black man. Let's wait some more real quick, because I want y'all to hear. I think the African coon is coming up, man. What this dude said, and for you gonna be like, what the hell?
Black Gen Z, go right ahead, brother. You're on the air.
I think this him here.
Thank you, brother. I just want to, shout you out for bringing this panel together, and shout out to everybody on the community is what they do. But we see her hiring guys, giving guys shows and whatnot, networking with guys. So I do think that she is, someone that is trying to help. And
I just want to say two other things. Which a lot of things. I want to just say two other things. This is just kind of to a couple of brothers that have come up here and thrown or speak kind of in a, I'm going to say a disrespectful way or kind of against the purers of the world because of this whole thing like that. I don't think that we should be throwing black women under the bus and like that because of what's going on right here. Because they decided to comment about it or how they decided to deal with it. I think that's crazy. I can't even believe that brothers is doing it. And the sister that we just spoke about, the Karen statement, the Karen thing derived from white women calling.
Hold on, I want to pause this, and I know Psycho saw this. Listen, this nigga I'm sitting is about to coon so hard, right? To the point where he over-cooned. I never seen nobody over-coon. Psycho, you remember this part? She was trying to explain herself and tell him Obsidian, no, he's right. Obsidian was still defending her when she was telling her Obsidian that the guy was right.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my, like, listen, I never, like, this, man, the crackatosis on this one, watch this shit, y'all.
The police on black people that was actually doing nothing. So if Pearlie uses that, even if she used it in a way where, she's calling, just using it to say, call it on anybody that's doing wrong or whatever, or in the way that she said it, that's going to be looked at in a different way because the origin of Karen, that whole Karen thing, that the origin of the first time I heard it was when I think the lady had called black people was like cooking out. I think that's the first time I actually heard the term Karen. But overall, it's just when black people are doing absolutely nothing and a white woman comes along and just call the cops. That's where Karen came from. So again, you might be using it for a different reason, but when it came from Karen
like Karen never had a racial tone. It's just a white lady that.
Hang on, one at a time, please.
Okay, so again, racial tone or not, brother, it derived from white women calling the police on black people that were doing absolutely nothing.
But do you know what she meant when she used the term Karen?
I understand, and I already touched.
You got a black woman.
She may not be used.
We actually got a black woman and another black man on here, and black people defending a white.
Oh
woman.
yeah, it was a few sisters up there too. It wasn't just the brothers. Yeah, it was a couple of sisters up there during this show.
This is crazy. But no, you know what, Psycho? No, it's not crazy. I've been talking. Me and Richie been talking about this for years. This is, I'm telling you, the pro-black side is vindicated. Because we've been blowing the whistle, sounding the trumpet, and been telling y'all about our people, man. So now you got this white. Look how she just sitting there. She probably went and sucked some black dick later on that night, laid down.
Bro, you need to queue up that show where we had Obsidian on back in the day, because again, these problems started from small seeds. You understand? Her individuals, who are with unresolved issues in their own life, later on going on to make these big coon swooping movements. And this is all from them not resolving their own personal issues. and now you're a tool for this girl to be making you chat any old fraffery on her show. The madness. Big up information, man. Wagwan, brother.
Watch this shit, yo. Watch how Obsidian go off.
Using that in a racial way, but you're using a word that has now been captured by Black people in general as a word. Instead of calling somebody white, you say Karen. That's what that word has now taken on. I mean,
hold on a second. Karen is not a stand-in for white woman. Karen means a certain type.
No, to be fair, Obsidian, I did say that white women make the best Karens.
You're right, but just because
I genuinely
look at him.
It's just like
I know.
Obsidian, let her say it. God damn it! What the?
It's sad. It's sad. Obsidian Cochran.
Yo, this is overcoon. When overcooning, like he overcooned. Like hold on. Look at this shit, info.
Use the term
Let's have a
Karen.
pretext,
I
brother.
understand, and I already touched
I'm
on
gonna give you the floor.
She may not be using that in a racial way, but you're using a word that has now been captured by Black people in general as a word. Instead of calling somebody white, you say Karen. That's what that word has now taken on. I mean,
hold on a second. Karen is not a stand-in for white woman.
Now watch she interject and watch he cut her off and say, no, no. She's gonna say, no, he's gonna jump in. Like when the bullets start firing, he jumped, get down. He covered her up and took the bullets for her.
Karen means a certain type.
No, to be fair, Obsidian, I did say that white.
Go ahead, info. Right there, I'm gonna stop it right there. Go ahead, info. What you want to say?
Let's break down the definition of Karen. A Karen is a term used as a slang for white women. This is definition, okay? Perceived as entitled or demanding beyond the scope of what is normal. The term is often portrayed in means depicting white women who use their white privilege to demand their own way. So Obsidian doesn't know what the hell he talks about at all. Now, let's have a pretext here, brother George Makem. Why is anybody not only surprised by the white Karen, that's what I call her. I'm going to be doing a show today about it. I'm going to go in strong. I've got all the evidence and all the tit tabs. She's been doing this for a while. Why is everybody surprised about the white Karen? Why? I said it yesterday. I love when white people like this expose themselves. We should want more of this to happen, brothers, because it's important to know that we have people that smile in our face, act like they befriend us. According to Obsidian, she's hiring more Black people. So what? White people have always hired Black people to do jobs like slavery, where we didn't get any pay, and they can hire you, give you pay, pat you on your head, and still not like you. So this whole thing about her hiring her Africans, as she calls them, and then disrespecting her African people that she hires by bringing on Nick Fuentes, a known white supremacist and white nationalist, whatever we want to call it. That was also disrespectful to the very Africans, as she called it, that she hired. But George, why are you surprised by how these Negroes were acting on this panel, at least some of them? Aren't these some, like Obsidian and Fantasia? I don't care, Mr. Fantastic. Aren't these the same Negroes that we did battle with on the Sunday Rumble back in the day? And remember when we were on those panels? Remember when we were on those panels? And we tried to give pushback and break and talk about Black history as Cyclopedian is talking about. We tried to give context to some of the coonery that was going on the panel from time to time. And what happened? We had Negroes on that panel pushing back on us. So why should you be surprised, brother, that when this is a collection plate of Negroes who showed that they were coonish, raccoonish, buck dancing back in the day when we were on those Sunday Rumbles. Now, another thing that you notice is the reason why they're SOSing to this white woman. It goes back to the history. Y'all know the history. White man puts the white woman on a pedestal. Say, Negro, don't you touch her. And then what do? We try to do everything we can to get in close proximity to that white woman because she's been put on this pedestal. Now, how do you go from Kevin Samuels, who was supposed to be your spokesperson, to jump into making the white woman a spokesperson and protecting her by all means protecting her because she's got 3 million subs on her channel. A lot of these Negroes are trying to get shine. They're hoping that she will sprinkle some of those subs on their channel. That's why they're all up there polite, because they're hoping that she'll give them a shout out to boost their channel ratings. Right now, check this out. This is the hypocrisy. This white woman jumped out of the box and said ratchet stuff, said things that we wouldn't accept from anybody within our own group. And when she got up there, every Negro was polite. They were on their best black behavior. Everybody was, ma'am, this, all articulating with their voices. But think about how when black men are on panels with black women that they may disagree with, or maybe even agree. Look at how there's a difference in how black men on these streets, YouTube streets, are disrespectful and talk to black women nasty.
He called the one girl
right.
bitch,
but they give the white girl a pass, even if they disagreed with her. They're so polite with her and back and forth. And then this is when, remember this part of it, Arsenio had assumed that she was a pure version girl, pushing home this ideology that, well, white girls don't go out there and mess around and become unversions. It's just the black women that, do this kind of stuff. White girls are just as ratchet in college and school and such. This is the bullshit. Yeah. See, this is all about trying to come up within the YouTube algorithms and trying to get shine from this woman. And you notice every Negro, including the Negro who got up there from no disrespect to people in the Caribbean, but I disagree with the one cat that got up there talking about reparations. And I'm asking myself, why are you so concerned about black people in America's reparation plight? We're not getting on you about CARICOM and your reparations plight. But he got up there and got into that talk. And it was just interesting to see black men do everything they can to protect the chastity. Yeah, he's one of the biggest coons on YouTube, and I tell him in his face, and have told him many times. Black men are on there protecting the chastity of a white woman, but we do less protection of the chastity of black women. And yes, black women are not perfect, but guess what? White women are not perfect. If white women were so perfect, why did white men create a group called MGTOW? Men going their own way. So all men have problems with their women on one level or another. But I land here. Once again, all of these guys did their best to be respectful to her, even if they disagreed with her. There was no ratcheteering on that panel, as it would have been if it was a black woman that they disagreed with. It just shows you that we as a people have self-hate. We hate self and kind, and we project it on one another. But when it comes to white mama and white daddy, we ask for all the biscuits and all the cornbread, and we'll be on our best behavior. It's really a shame. And I want to be honest with you, George. Most of these Negroes on YouTube who get into this type of content, they do it because it's financially benefiting them, because they'll get the super chats, they'll get the cash apps, they'll tell you to go read their book, buy their book. They're franchising this whole thing, right? Make money off of it. Now, if they were really concerned about a solution, which they're not concerned about a solution, because a solution would put an end to this continued narrative, but they won't, because if you do get a solution that works, then you can't monetize and make money off of black dysfunction. And then you let a white woman who's 27 years old, not married, has no kids, and from what I understand as a therapist, your brain doesn't fully develop until after 25 years of age. So she's had 2 years of development of the brain, and all of a sudden, she's got all the answers to dating and what have you, Whatever happened to men following the lead of other men and following the beat of their own drum? Why are we following a white woman and her talking points, what she got from the Black Manosphere? She repackages it, and now she's got 3 million subs on her channel.
I'm gonna tell you why, bro.
And yet a lot of these Negroes within the Manosphere who got YouTube channels don't even have, Sinian himself, who waxes poetically every day on his channel, he don't even have 3 million subs. Yet the white girl can use their talking points, and she can get 3 million subs globally around the world, while these Negroes are at the bottom of the heap, scrapping for the pieces, right? It's interesting. I land there.
You want to say something?
That picture, though, real quick, George. That picture got me laughing my ass off over here. Y'all know.
Coon's a hazard. Y'all made Coon's a hazard, man. Listen. Something that I've been talking about, and I'm glad that this happened. I blame Midtown Pookie for everything. This is all Midtown Pookie's fault. I believe he put all this in motion. I blame Midtown Pookie for this. But no, this is where the pro-black sector is vindicated here, because everything that we've been saying over the years is coming to fruition. What I'm going to say before I get to Super Slide's part, what I want to say is mute up real quick, info. There's some feedback coming in. Yeah, what I want to say, we have to get more diligent on the things that we want to do. What she has shown is black people is on social media and they will support. The problem is we won't support each other. Dr. Amos Wilson said the longest running, what was it? What's the thing you call when? Oh yeah, the longest running boycott amongst Black Americans has been on each other. When you see Daisy Dukes on a car and you got the two Negroes around her, this is what we do. We don't support each other. And I'm gonna say this on my channel, like I said on Psychos and other people's channel. We outnumber the Sambos 20-1. Because if you walk in a room full of black people, you say, yo, who in here is Sambo or Coon? None of them will raise their hand. Everybody's gonna tell you that they black first or they with black people. So the thing is this, right? In these black spaces, we got to support our own shit. If Info Man is live and he's talking about some black stuff, the building black people, it should be 1,000 people in there. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it with my chest. If you support Tariq Nasheed because he's FBA, he's black first, he's not the only FBA person. If other people with Tariq Nasheed or Jason Black is not live, and there's other FBA people that's live, and it's not 1,000 people in there, then you're frauds. We got to start supporting our movements and not just with one person. It has to become a collective. It has to become a we. It has to become a thing that's practice. It has to become a practice. We only support people that entertain us, or
facts, George.
Or we support people that we don't like because you be in their chat rooms arguing with them, giving them more views. So Obsidian, we know Obsidian is a fuck boy. We know what Mr. Fantastic and them are. We clearly see, right? But if we outnumber these groups 20-1, because listen, Hassan Campbell and them over there, they got their audience, right? The young kids with the gang real nigga shit, they got their audience, right? But then the pro-blacks, we got our audience too. Listen, the biggest problem, and I'm going to say it, it's not Obsidian and the white girl. The biggest problems in the Cobras is the pro-blacks. Because the pro-blacks don't stand on pro-black shit. Because last time I checked, it's more B1 and pro-black people than the other groups. But I'll be sitting, I'll be observing from a distance. I'll be just watching. And the only time you get a collective of FBA in the room is when Tariq Nasheed is live. How can you be taken serious to get anything done where it's more than one voice? There's voices of women FBA, there's men FBA, all over these spaces. We all got voices in different cities where we're at doing work. Y'all won't support them unless they making jokes or funny shit. We're not going to be taken serious by nobody. And that's why people can just get in here and make fun of us. This coon right here always talking shit about the pro-blacks. That's his favorite saying. The pro-blacks, the pro-this, the pro-that. We gotta start supporting our own move. Go ahead, Psycho. You want to say something?
No, I was just agreeing with you. I was just co-signing what you were saying.
We gotta start supporting our own movements. I'm not shitting on Tariq or Jason, but I'm saying that if you gonna come to me and talk this FBA shit, how many FBA brothers and sisters have you worked with? How many FBA brothers and sisters have you linked up with offline to get something done? Huh? How many FBA brothers and sisters are you investing money in to create podcasts to keep the word going? How many FBA brothers and sisters are you working with to get maybe registered voters in your municipality you live in as independents, where we can fight for our reparations on the political stage? Huh? Who's doing the work? Oh no, you waiting for Tariq to go live. That's why nobody respects us. We got to stop this shit. And watch this. She see all that. She see the division. So she people weakness. She comes, she slithers her way right in. I guarantee you later on that night, there was a black dick available for her to suck. Because you niggas are so weak. It's a black man that watched her. It's a black man that watched her. She sat and watched the whole black manosphere fall apart. The black community argue over defending her, and it was a black. She knew she had a black dick waiting for her to go get rest. Go ahead, info.
And George, no, I'm reinforcing what you're talking. I'm gonna piggyback to what you're saying. I heard you say this when I was in the car driving before I was able to get on, and it is very clear to me that you can look at her facial expression. She was actually getting a kick out of the whole situation. She was laughing and giggling to herself, listening to those Negroes talk and the questions that was asked. But what's most glaring to me is that E Black had asked her the question. E Black was the brother who was on there, and he had said something about white supremacy and the history and all of that. And remember when he asked her that direct question about what she did and how it has an impact, because of she sat up there and said, excuse me, I'm a little confused. I don't think I realize what are we saying? I thought we were on the same page. This is something that white Karens like her do, where when you call them out on their hypocrisy, she plays the, oh gosh, Danny, oh, I didn't know. Just like when she gave her apology video, did you notice, George and everyone, she used the same narrative that Jerry Jones used for the Dallas Cowboys. I was just curious about Nick Fuente. She used the Curious George theme. This is what white people like this do. They try to play dumb and goofy, and I just didn't know it was done what I did, but I'm sorry, everybody. I just didn't know. And then when she gets on Avcenian's show, she says she was willing to learn from someone that could give her better insight. And then who was on the panel? Just like brother Psychopathist, but you had brother Amiri who got up there, called her out, and then she didn't want to talk about reparations and all these other things. And he said, well, wait a minute. You just said to Avcenian that you were willing to listen and learn from someone who might be better learned in these areas. And you notice how she shut all that down and refused to answer his questions, and the issue of reparations. She didn't want to go down that rabbit hole, according to her, right? So what I'm saying in a nutshell, when have you ever seen Negroes on a panel let a black woman get a pass about something that we had disagreed about what she said? They would be all over her, woofing, yelling, calling her all kind of things, calling her a raghead, a wig head, and and all this kind of stuff like that, right? They never. There was only a few people who challenged her, but even when she was challenged, she played the, I don't really want to talk about that. I thought this was about this. This is typical of white women, which she admitted herself, that are privileged. Now, another thing that she did you notice this, George? I think there was a question about how much money she's been making on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then she turned around and said, she did the typical thing. She played to the ignorance. She played the, well, I'm just a woman, and you know how we are. We spend a lot of money. That was just her way of saying, I'm not going to answer the question that you guys are asking me, Negroes. I'm not going to tell you anything. Then she tried to minimize the impact of her wealthy father that does have government connections by minimizing and saying, well, he don't really know about social media. He brought me a couple of mic. That's all lies.
Yeah, well, we gotta remember too.
If on her own web page, if you go to her own web pages, she goes in detail. So so this is the hypocrisy, and I'm glad that this happened because this needs to be exposed.
But I'll say this, I blame Q Butter for everything. This is Q Butter's fault. I think Q Butter set this up. The whole thing, yeah, it's Q Butter's fault. It's
all part of Zynex master plan.
Yeah, this is a scientific experiment being used by Q Butter to see how to respond to trauma. This is a STEM project here. But I'll say this, right? You know, I hope this has to be a wake-up call for black folks. For black folks over there where Richie is, over in London. And for FBA folks, if you want to claim FBA, this has to be a wake-up call for us.
George, let me say something to that, yeah? This is the thing, yeah? Whether you're FBA, Pan-African, from America, Caribbean, wherever, if you're cooning, you're cooning.
Yep.
The same way, if you're saying that you're pro-black, there's universal principles to how you're supposed to be carrying yourself. Real recognizes real. That's why me, you, Information Man, like he was saying, certain others have known each other for many years now and been standing on the same point for many years because real recognize real. The same way the coons have got their script, we need to recognize that if you're pro-black, whether or not you've got your individual fight to head up in your own backyard, you should know how to carry yourself. You should know who to associate with. You should know what you're saying and what you shouldn't be saying. There's levels, you understand? And as far as I'm concerned, whether you're talking about black men, black women, the relationship angle, whether you want to talk about the political angle, institutional racism, whether you're talking about from, as I said, Caribbean to UK to across Europe to USA, there's certain levels to your conversation that should be held up. You understand? And that's what's slipping. That's the part where man are forgetting the same way the coons have got a script, we got to have a script and we got to stick to it.
Thank
you. Understand? And be very loud when we're talking it. Because really, if you listen closely, it doesn't matter whether you're from UK or USA. It's the same talk all the way. All the way. It's undeniable when you hear it, but you have to be real to receive it.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I'm imploring to our people today. Well, matter of fact, let me play because I know Cycle will want to get this. Let me play Super Sly's part. Super Sly really Obsidian shut the fuck up and allowed Super Sly to talk. Super Sly got in her ass though.
And then I did rap reaction videos. So
okay, right there. Let me stop you right there.
Because you can be a woman and a feminist, but you're not automatically a feminist if you're a woman. You can be a Muslim and a terrorist, but you're not a terrorist automatically because you're a Muslim. You can be a Karen.
Hold on.
I just want to say two other things.
This is
Obsidian. Let me just say, if
use the term Karen.
I understand.
This is Obsidian in real
because
form.
you can be a woman and a feminist. But you're not automatically a feminist if you're a woman. You can be a Muslim and a terrorist, but you're not a terrorist automatically because you're a Muslim. You can be a Karen and a white woman, but you're not a Karen simply because you're a white woman. A Karen means a particular context. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Pearl, you can stand back on this one.
Didn't I? Wait a minute, George. Didn't I just break down the definition?
Yes.
You can Google it. So I don't know why Obsidian keeps trying to make this distinction between what a Karen is. Everybody knows in this world that when you think of a Karen, it is a white woman who feels privileged and demands. And these Karens are usually trying to impact and attack black people. The Karen signature is not a signature for black women, but he wants to hold on to that because he's trying to protect her, because he's just looking for the shine. Let me be in good with this white woman because she's hot right now. Because It's going to help me.
All right, I'm gonna play some more. He told her. He said, "Bro, you can step back on this one."
Right. And remember, Obsidian has said several times in the past, George, not to cut it off, but this is important what I'm about to say. Keep this in mind, everybody. Obsidian has said tons of times over the years that he does what he does because he's trying to get the bag. That lets you know that he ain't really about the community, as he says, community.
Or the Manosphere.
Right. He's really just trying to get money and get the bag. This is what this has always been about for the man that hides behind his avatar all these years.
Patience.
There you go.
That takes diligence. That takes being thoughtful. You need to be more thoughtful. And stop being so hair-triggered. Stop being so emotional. And to be brutally frank, stop being so fucking ignorant. The truth just has to be told. Okay? Let me move on to Sly.
Obsidian.
Sly, hold on. Sly wanted to jump in here. Sly, you're on the air, Obsidian Radio with Just Pearly Things.
What's up, Obsidian? It's been a while. How you been?
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Thank you for having me. Pearly, quick question. A couple questions. Growing up, what was your proximity to blacks?
To like any black.
Did you grow up around black people? Go to school with black
what was your
people?
Acting like she's stupid. She know what the hell you're talking about.
I would say overall, it was mostly a white area, but I was on sports teams, so I would say it was a little bit more because of that, but still mostly white.
Okay, so at what point did you become immersed in black culture?
Like immersed completely, probably not till I got to London. But I would say before that, maybe like different sports teams.
But your content before you moved to London was immersed in black culture. Agree or no?
It depends which content. I did so much different stuff. So, I started with relationship quizzes on TikTok and like water slide videos. So I'd say that was pretty neutral. And then I did house tours. And then I did I could go through a whole. And then I almost got a national TV for relationship quizzes. Then I did 100 days of rejection challenge where I had to go out every day and see if I could get rejected by doing something. And then I did rap reaction videos. So
okay, right there. Let me stop you right there. Yeah. Would you agree that's what got you your traction? Doing a rap video covering?
No, well, no, because it all depends, right? So I got because I'm not trying to give you I have to give you a nuanced answer.
I don't know. I don't need a long-winded answer. I'm going somewhere with this. So basically, roughly 5-6 years ago, you just became immersed in black culture, correct?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay.
Are you afraid of competition? Content.
Oh, sorry. Am I afraid of competition? No.
Regarding your content, are you afraid of competition?
No.
Okay. If it's just between me and you, would you admit like the content you cover with black folk, you kind of slum it a bit, hanging out with the blacks because it's an easy grift? Yes or no? Would you ever say that? Would you agree to that? Would you believe that someone could see that?
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay, so you don't think your content with black people, with these low level questions and topics, you don't think it's a quick fix, a quick lick?
No.
Okay. Given everything you've heard, you've answered these questions for the last 4 or 5 hours. Do you believe that black folks are extremely forgiving to white people?
I don't know.
So every black man that came before you today, you don't think in the back of your mind, geez, I can pretty much say anything to black people about black people, and as long as I come here and say I'm sorry, they'll forgive me. Do you believe that at all? Or would you even admit to that?
That certainly was not a thought.
But is it a thought now?
Now that I heard you say it, I thought it when I had to listen.
Now, listen, this is important, right? He's asking her very important questions, and he's penetrating deep. And this is the thing. She knows that white people know that. White people know that when they come into our establishments, within a year or 2 years, they'll be running it, because black people, we don't believe that we're capable of leading white people. We don't believe, they condition us so much that we don't believe psychologically. That's why it's very rare you see a black cop shoot a white boy or something, or shoot somebody like that, because we already understand the punishment that will come, the chastisement that will come down. So as a white woman, she knows that she can come into these spaces amongst black men and she'll get favoritism. She'll be put on high. But this is part of our reparations claim. This is part of our psychological condition, and us believing the lie, us believing that we're something we're not, us manifesting this type of behavior. So those of us that's able to see the forest from the trees and separate from it, we're at odds with our brothers that can't see the forest from the trees. This is part of warfare. They don't need guns, bombs, and bullets. They just fucked us up psychologically so that now they don't have to fight. Because now, before I can get to my enemy, I got to get through Obsidian and Mr. Fantastic and them, because our brothers is so messed up in the head, they don't see what we see. They don't see what we see. They're blinded. They're blinded. So Super Sly's asking her these questions. She knows what she's able to do because she sees it. She's watching us argue over her. She's watching it. So this is why I'm saying to the so-called pro-blacks, please just stop waiting for Tariq or Jason Black to be live to go over and lend your support. Go over the information, man, when he has his podcast going. At least give him 700 people in the room. Because last time I checked this, there's hundreds of thousands of B1. Where y'all at? Support our own stuff. Let's get our own stuff going where we at. Let's become a thing. Let's become a we. Because these groups of blacks are showing you that they're willing to support non-blacks in order to boost them up. And they even proudly say, listen to this, they proudly say that this white woman is providing jobs and opportunities for these black people for something that they could have did for themselves. We have YouTube. We have social media. There is nothing stopping us from creating our own Adam 22s, our own Vlads, but us, psychological. We don't believe that we can do it. We believe the lie. We believe we niggas. And so now she can come right in. Check this out. Info notice. That motherfucking Obsidian is the brainchild and the thought process of the Manosphere. He's been there since his inception. This motherfucker, with all the acknowledgement that the Manosphere has been getting, he has not one time invested anything in to have a podcast to build upon what Kevin Samuels took mainstream, right? He's reduced to sitting here defending a white woman that's using his fucking talking points. That goes to show you that white folks don't take us serious. They don't take us serious. Because she's looking at it like, damn, motherfucker, you defending me. I'm using your talking points. I'm bigger than you. That's what she's saying. Because if he's the original godfather of the talking points and you ain't got nothing going on, what is that? So what I'm saying is we got to be real careful when we lend all of our support to the Tariqs and Jason Blacks, but not to the other FBA people. It has to become a circular thing where everybody's getting a part of something. Everybody that has a positive voice that's building for FBA, come on, man. We got to get out of this just wanting to be entertained shit. We got teachers. Yeah. We got people on the ground doing stuff. We got everything. You got to support the fucking movements. Else we're gonna be like Obsidian. Obsidian is a miserable fuck that's sitting by watching all these women. They show a little nipple, show a little leg. Some of these fine women come on here. The Courtney Michelle's, the Nika Marie's, the Sister Goddess Jesus. Some of these women come on here like they badder than finer than a motherfucker. They show a little lipstick on. You know what I'm talking about, Psycho? They put a little lipstick on, show a little bitch, show a little leg. These niggas go crazy. You sex-starved fucking coons go crazy. And these women know this shit. These niggas, all I got to do is lick my lips a little bit, cross my legs with some pumps on. And some of these women are fucking beautiful.
Funny thing is, though, but you never seen them windmill for these women like they windmill for Pearly, though, have you?
Nope. And
but Psychopathist, That's the point I was making too, brother. To attach myself to what you just said. We know, as I said, when it comes to black women, you'll have every dude jumping on that one black woman that they disagree. They won't give that black woman any slack at all. They gave her more than slack. They opened up the whole damn front door to her and said, "Come on in."
Yes, yes.
So I agree with you.
Yeah, and so when you look at Obsidian, I want y'all to understand Obsidian. When you look at Obsidian, when he's looked at, because Kevin Samuels took the talking points mainstream, but he wasn't the Godfather. Obsidian was. And people like Alan Roger Curry and other guys had talking points that Kevin Samuels was able to articulate them and express them to women to the point where they would listen. He had a talent that other men wouldn't be able to do. Kevin had that talent, and he took it mainstream, right? This guy is reduced to sitting on a panel defending a white woman when your talking points was for spaces for men. So I think y'all need to really understand how miserable this fuck is. But he's trying to mask it because you know, black people, we're the masters of masking our pain. So what he'll do is lash out at his people, create funny shit to hide his pain, because he's never achieved or accomplished what he set out to accomplish, and he's watching those same women that he wanted to exclude accomplish more than him. That's what he's been reduced to. We've been in these spaces a long time. I see it. He's what these young guys coming in, like Stephens Cole and all these other guys, MTR, they boat raced his ass.
Yeah, they passed him right by.
Passed him right by.
Right.
And he's reduced to sitting in there having the same conversations he had 6 years ago today. So now he's disgruntled and he has no choice but to latch on to this Neanderthal Beelzebubian jackal. He has no choice but to latch on to this, because this is his last hope. He done tied a rope and hanging on now. When he's down to his last thread, he done tied a rope. He's hanging on. Half the Manosphere done turned on him. The young guys in the Manosphere don't like him, don't respect him, because he don't stand on nothing. And this is where we're at. So look, let's listen to the last part of
listen to it, but before that, no.
So you're gonna walk away from this not thinking I could pretty much say anything to my black constituents and they'll forgive me and I can get away with pretty much murder. You won't think that moving forward?
No. I would think, oh my gosh, this is
okay.
Crazy.
Final question. My final question to get up out of here. So will you continue to do content featuring black people, solely black people?
It will be a mix of people. Anyone that wants to come on the show, reach out to my recruiters.
I hear you saying that, but the majority of the people that come to you are black people.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, because you made a point about pivoting, because I personally want you to pivot away to show everybody how foolish they are. But I don't think you will do it because the money is too easy to hang with black folks, because they're gonna put you on a pedestal. Do you agree? Yes or no?
That they put me on a pedestal? No.
So you don't believe these people put you on a pedestal?
I would say if they did, they would.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Show me the platform where groups of white people will sit around and boost the black woman up, like Pearlie, to have the let's say we got the Lakeisha Dunn show, and she can sit on there and referee white folks bullshit. Or
It'll never happen.
It would never happen.
It'll never happen. Matter of fact, you can't show me, and I think Jason Black touched on this as well. There is no show either on social media or mainstream where you have a black man or a black woman surrounded by white people in a podcast style fashion, where white people are displaying their dysfunction and their problems with each other while a black host, male or female, diagnose it.
Here you go.
You have never seen that.
I give y'all, I'll throw this one out there to y'all. Show me, because you got hoes, you got black hoes, girls that's hoes, but then you got these white women, right? We know the white people invented porn, the booze, the drugs, everything. Show me the black Kim Kardashian. Where's she at? See, because these guys, whenever you get a black woman that may suck a dick on tape or do something, they'll castigate her, but they love Kim Kardashian. They make all kinds of excuses for this white woman. And the media will make the black woman be the worst hoe and the worst of everything. Now, I go in on some of our sisters and some of our brothers with our dysfunction, right? But that's within our unit for us to better our people, right? They promote our women and they promote black men as the face of crime and black women as the standard of ratchet and hoism, right? But the biggest hoe in this country is Kim Kardashian. She's the hoe. She's the one that made billions for having jizz dripping from a chin. Not the black woman. They won't let the black woman do that.
White woman, period. I would say white woman, period. Yeah.
Yeah, if the black woman suck a dick on video, I mean, it goes how far it go, up the street and around the corner. This girl claimed the fame is having jizz dripping from her chin. So what I'm saying is, this shit is a fucking joke because they portray us as the gangsters, but John Wick is the one that got the movies that's killing every goddamn body. They're mafia movies and man, listen.
That whole perception started in the late 70s, early 80s with Lee Atwater and everything else, pushing that whole welfare queen thing, and that's when the language started to change, right? Like they wasn't overtly calling us niggas and stuff like that anymore. We became urban kids, right? And like these little buzzwords, right? Like that was centered around X, Y, and Z, and that's when you started getting a lot of these little narratives and yeah, things that think these little perceptions started being attached to us more and more over time, and now that's just pretty much what the image is now, and this decades in the making. And like you were saying earlier, we kind of internalized that, and that's where a lot of this disdain comes from the black manosphere, because they hate black people over there, dog. These dudes sound like white supremacists, like they are white supremacists. I literally had argued with black men in the manosphere about Irish slaves being here in this country.
Yes,
like they literally brought into that bullshit narrative. Like these dudes, master teachers, are white supremacists. Like I said, Thomas Sowell, I gotta mention him again. He's a whole white supremacist, and like white supremacist is not exclusive to just white people. We gotta get out that mindset too. There's a bunch of black white supremacists out here. White supremacy is a mindset, right? It's a mindset. A white supremacist is somebody who's trying to fight and uphold the system of white supremacy, right? Yeah. That's not attached to a race. So you got a lot of.
I got 10 more minutes. Y'all take the floor for that. Go ahead.
Okay, no doubt. Yeah, so we got to understand the mindsets that we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who have a great disdain for black people for whatever reason. There's a lot of different reasons why this comes about. It's too nuanced to just say it's one thing, but for whatever reason, they got a great disdain for black people, and they're praying for our downfall. These people are literally praying for our downfall. Like they literally ambulance chase all day long, all week long, looking for something effed up about black people so they can run and make a video about it, run and make a stream about it, talk about it, spew their hatred towards black people and everything else. They do it under the guise that they're trying to help the community. Stop. No, you're not.
Facts. Can't be disputed at all. Facts.
Yeah, this is.
Go
ahead, Info.
George, I want to say this before I drop off too, because I know that you have to go. When you look at Jason Black's video as he further went deeper into it, he showed this is a warning to all black people. When you look at the No Jumper channel with Adam 21, and you look at Vlad TV, all these people have been controverting and grifting off of black culture to blow their channels up. Adam 21, No Jumper, he's got a bunch of black people that's working behind the scenes, that's podcasting for him and the whole 9 yard. And then he brings David Spencer on there. Then you got this other dude with the blue hair, Destiny, who claims to be an ally, right? He's one of these liberals. And Jason Black exposed how he was pushing the same white nationalist talking points. And we have to ask ourselves, why? And I said the same thing. Why are we assisting in blowing up people who don't look like us who try to portray themselves in this liberal way towards black people to say, hey, I'm not racist. I'm down with it. Let me also griff off your culture and make some money, and then I'll put a little money in your pocket.
Right.
Think about it like this, George. If it goes to what you said earlier. If black people on social media put the same energy that they put into this Karen, Just Things or whatever, Pearly, if we put the same energy into each other that we do into Vlad TV or No Jumper, if we put that same energy into black people on YouTube and supporting each other, these individuals that we're talking about today would be irrelevant.
Yes.
If we were on code, in unity, working for our best interest.
Yes.
But what it is, as you mentioned about Tariq, is that black people, unfortunately, we are caught up in personalities. Personalities and people like them, people that make you laugh and jokey, and people who have this sort of Hollywood energy to them, we follow those type of people. While people who are giving you real information, like for example, George, yesterday, and I know I probably was going against it of sitting and doing this video, but yesterday I did a video that was very important about how car insurance companies are ripping black people off, not only in Detroit and Flint, Michigan, but all across the country. It's right. Nobody gave a damn about that video. That video I didn't get a lot of, I got some views, but it wasn't like I had 100 people over there or 1,000 people or whatever, right? Because the things that are more important that we need to be worried about, we don't support that. We support the train car wreck.
Right.
Right. And everybody I know was over there watching the show because the white Karen was going to be on there, and they were looking to see how everybody was going to deal with her. I think it was a circus yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was just about, once again, Negroes trying to get themselves a lick.
Yeah, this here info, I want to, before we get out of here, this here is Saturday. I took a bunch of FBA children,
wow,
children, to Temple University. We went to Temple University Hospital and the trauma unit. Now, Temple University Hospital is sitting right in North Philadelphia, where ground zero for a lot of the shootings. Last year, they had 800 shooting victims just in that one hospital. This is their trauma unit, where people come in. They're coming in with AK-47 bullets, 223 rounds, and this was a presentation where they was showing our kids what happens when they bring them into these trauma units, because a lot of kids when they run to these corners and blast off, they don't stay there to see the aftermath info. They don't know that 1 in 7 kids that get shot suffer from paralysis in Philadelphia after they getting shot with these machine guns and these rifles. He was showing how they have to open up the chest and cut off blood circulation to get blood circulation to go to the brain and keep them alive. Like, this shit was like crazy. Like, they were showing all this stuff to the kids. Let me see if I can pull up the others. Okay. What? I don't understand this. Why it don't move to the next picture like it used to? They done did some new shit to the way that you share. Hold on. And you can't share.
Yeah, it looked like it's with some stuff up on StreamYard. I don't know.
Yeah. So this was some of our kids in the presentation. Right. And like I said, we bring them out. We bring them out. Let me move on to the next one. We bring them out so that way they get a chance to see. They get a chance to see the flip side, man, because it's fucked up out here. Hold on, let me see which one. This one here. All right, yeah, this one here, and then I'll show. Yeah, here we go. It's fucked up out here. This is part of our Urban Nerds Initiative. Our Urban Nerds Initiative is getting our kids into STEM. Marvin Burrow, my partner, we're gonna have photography classes where we take the kids out in the nature. We already got the kids taking pictures of trees, the lakes. They developing the pictures themselves. Info. We show them how to use the cameras. Like I said, we got martial arts classes, we got yoga classes, we got the college tours coming up. We about to do Delaware State. We doing Delaware State. We're doing Temple College tour. and we also had the museum tours. We're gonna be in New York on May 13th with Q Butter.
George, do me a favor as I get ready to get off. I send you something. Check your Cash App right now. This is the money that I want to contribute to the. You sent me a text about money that you're trying to raise, and I will be giving more money behind the scenes, buying merch and sending you Cash Apps like this every now and then. Check the Cash App, brother.
Okay, I'll check it.
I'm contributing to what you're trying to do. So you will be getting Cash Apps from me behind the scenes like that randomly. And I also need to go over to the website and start purchasing multiple pieces of merch to contribute to continue contributing. Everywhere I go, brother, when I'm on panels, I always try to mention what you're doing in the organization and the cause.
Yes.
And I tell people to go over and support. So I just want to give you that to start for now, because I know that you send out a message to me about trying to raise money for a special trip that you're doing with the kids and everything.
Yep.
So I just want to give you that Cash App wise, so we know if I send it to you through the super chat, YouTube gonna take 30%. So, and I'll be sending you those kind of Cash Apps randomly too, brother.
We need them. We need them because, like I always tell everybody, I gotta sit. Let me put this one up too. We need them, like I tell everybody. Everybody in the B1 sectors that's doing stuff. Me, Q Butter, other people, because it's not just me. Other people that's doing stuff. We gotta support. It can't be just. And like I said, I'm not hating on Tariq, but it can't be just Tariq. He's not the only person doing stuff.
Right.
All of us. You see this hoodie right here? We have our kids wear these urban nerds, not urban shooters. We got the bullet in the ink pen over there. We got urban nerds, not urban shooters. And we go out to a lot of these places. We make the kids. Hold on a second. I don't know what the hell is wrong with this damn thing. We make the kids, walk out. We make the kids wear this stuff. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. I want to send this before we get out of here. One more thing. Gee, why the hell did it do that? Hold on. God damn it. Wait a minute, this thing acting crazy. Why didn't it pick up? Hold on a second. Let me just send it to this one there. Wow, this shit acting crazy. Why is it doing that? Hold on, y'all, because I want y'all to see this. There we go. There we go. Thank you too, Info. But I want y'all to see this. What we got coming down the pipe real fast, right? All right. We got coming down. So this is important. And why we ask for the donations. Let me do this real fast. So when we gotta support our own stuff. And like I said, I don't want people to think that I'm hating on the other guys. I'm not. What I'm saying, I'm trying to tell us we got to support other stuff, not just the stuff that's entertaining.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. It ain't got nothing. It ain't no hate, no nothing. Support those brothers. But if you claim FBA, they ain't the only FBA brothers.
That's real.
So here we go. This is part of our itinerary for this coming for the spring and summer. And some of the things that we got going on. And these dates are subject to change, but we're going to be May 13th. We'll be in New York City with Q Butter. We'll be at the Jersey Aquarium. We just did the Cradle to the Grave presentation. We got
in Camden. In Camden.
Yeah, in Camden. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while. I love that place though.
Yeah. See, this is part of the Dreams Big tours, like the Great Blacks and Wax Museum, the African American Smithsonian Museum. But what's not on here is we're going to do Temple College tour. We're going to do Dell State College tour. We're going to do the University of Villanova. We're going to do Drexel. So we're going to have the kids going on college tours. And the purpose of the college tours is just to give the kids different insight or different viewpoints to dream about. Not having the same ideas just to block. We got our passes to get into the prisons. So on here, we're going to have yoga classes, martial arts classes this summer. Like I said, the photography classes, conflict resolution classes that we're going to be doing with some of the inner city youth down here with this picture with me and my homeboy. So we got a lot of stuff going on, man. And like I said, anytime I ever do something, I post it. I don't talk something and then collect money and then don't go do it. I post what I do. I show what I do. We out here. I try to live out the stuff that I talk about. So I don't have a problem showing my wife and my family and trying to be the opposite of what they promote here in these YouTube spaces. That's what I try to do. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of us out here that's out here on the front line. Wait a minute. What's this thing? Everything acting crazy, man. They out here messing with my there we go. There's a lot of us out here that's out here on the front line doing work, that's trying our best to bring insight and to help things. Like people in the Manosphere, they don't like the stepfather stuff. Well, I'm a stepfather to about 50 kids in my organization. I'll be the stepfather and try to instill some correctness in these children so they don't be knocking you over the head 5-6 years from now. Somebody got to do it. I'll do it.
Right.
I mean, y'all can give y'all closing statements. I got about 5 more minutes.
Yeah, well, I'll go first real quick. Thanks for having me up. I appreciate it, George. Shout out to Information Man, Black Ice TV was good. I ain't seen you in a minute. And man, like I agree. A network is needed amongst pro-blacks. It's kind of hard to form one, but it'll be dope if we can get one going, because that's how the Manosphere actually grew, was through networking amongst each other, just passing the crowd off the one stream to the next and everything else. If we can get some kind of thing like that going on, it can help build our voices to the point where it can be heard by more. Because I see this whole LaPeep network, they came in and I've been saying we need to do networking like LaPeep network is doing everything else, and now they come in doing exactly what I said we supposed to be doing years ago, and they getting big. And that's what we have to really start thinking about doing, to be serious about this space getting bigger, because pro-blackness is bigger than just the conscious community. A lot of people think pro-black and they just go, they immediately think dashikis and incense, right? That's immediately where their mind goes, and they don't even know about the science side of things, right? They don't even know about the business side of things. It's a lot of different areas that pro-black encompasses a lot of things. And but immediately they go to the conscious community, and that's all they grasp by the whole concept. And that's a part of pro-black the community, but that's not the entirety of it. And we need to make our voices a little bit louder. That just isn't solely focused on consciousness, so to speak.
Thanks.
I totally agree with you, brother. I've been saying this as well, that black people on YouTube, we should be doing cross promotions. We should be promoting one another's channels. When I look at the white content creators, they tend to promote each other. They'll promote each other's merch. They'll do collaborations, and then they're laughing all the way to the bank as their channels are growing. Black people, we have this plantation mentality, unfortunately, or crabs in a barrel. Let me pull one down. He's getting to this or she's getting to that. It's almost like we don't like to see any of us win. We all have to lose.
Yep.
I'm with that.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
Take us on, Richie. Take us on.
No, it's real. We can always form around dysfunctions. It's time to form around our strengths. And again, if we have a code of ethics around what it means to be pro-black, we got to adhere to it and uphold it. And when we see man pissing on it, we got to be quick to shut that shit down, not endorse it, not indulge in the fuckery of it, not relish in making videos back and forth about it. We got to shut it down, not participate in it. And as man said, we've got to do some cross-platform promotion. Me and George been getting stick for the longest time for him mess with English U and all this. And it's been fun over the years at some points. But again, now we know better. We're big people. You understand? You must know there's black people around the world with worth in all sorts of ways, means, and situations. So if you still don't know that, and you're typecasted to the landmass that you find yourself on right now, then I feel sorry for you in this day and age. Because again, the technology's allowed us to come together, speak whenever we want, promote whenever we want, and sell to whoever we want. So if we're not using these tools properly, then more fool us. Yeah, I mean, it's one more brick on our heads when it comes to white supremacy having us up. You know what I'm saying? We know what time it is. We know what we have to do. Some of this work isn't for YouTube. Real talk. Yeah, real pro-black work isn't YouTube. George knows this. Information man knows this. Like, you know this. There's only so much you can do on the hype shows set. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reality that we have to know about ourselves, that when you're doing real things, it's not always going to be for the public eye. There's a reason why Gil Scott Heron said the revolution will not be televised. You get me? We got, you know, we like the digital, we use it as a medium, but when it comes to real black works, don't expect to see a camera there filming every minute, capturing it perfectly, framing it correctly, sound bites all lined up. It doesn't work like that. You get me? So that's all I got to say on that. Big up again, John.
In closing, I want everybody to remember this is not my main channel. Matter of fact, let me put this up because my main channel suspended for a week. I should be back over there in a week. So for people, let me get this link over here and put it in there real fast. Oh shit! Hold on. Why they come up like that? Oh, here we go, right here. Hold on. Copy. Let me put this in the chat. So this is my channel, Street Media TV. So if y'all ain't subscribed there because that's where I'll be at. I'm only live on this channel right now because the other channel suspended. But remember, in closing, I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator most high that these words was enough to inspire you. These words enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information. And when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that you share this information on all the social media mechanisms that we use to get the message across. It's time that we had a conversation. It's time that we start sharing information. It's time that we start practicing being FBA, not using it as a slogan or a talking point. It's time that we become a thing, it become a movement, and people begin to see it start to move. It's time. So we can't scream FBA and we're not practicing it as a lifestyle. It's time that if you got your significant other, promote them. Promote the children, promote family. Let young black boys and girls know that it's possible to have a family. That's why I promote it. And my channel suffered for it, but by the grace of the Most High, I'm going to be all right. So if you want to be FBA, FBA means being in cooperation with your people. That's what FBA should stand for. So either you're doing it or you ain't. So remember in closing, the coons, the Sambos, and the Manosphere and the Mammies ain't the problem. The biggest problem amongst our groups is the FBA. Because if you ain't practicing FBA, but you're screaming FBA, you are a detriment to the crew. Love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.
Peace, fam.